All right, Shalom. First off, I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakudash. Yahweh being the Heavenly Father's true name, Yahweh Shai being the name of his only begotten Son. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles, a great millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you watching throughout the four corners of the earth, continuing to push and do the works in truth and in sincerity. All right, this is the brother Masham Mayum. We're in the men here with the GMS branch out here in the morning camp. Here with another quick lesson through the Spirit, and pretty much going into the title of this lesson is going to be in question form: what sword do you want to take part of? Okay, and basically, dealing with, what do you want to take part in the sword? Okay, which is the word of the Lord. All right, in repenting, or do you want to take part? Okay, in the sword of the Lord. Okay, which is what going to be the judgment to come. Okay, via the fire. All right. So those, as we go on and get these precepts, it's edifying. But let's start off with the book of Matthew chapter 10. And starting at verse 34. And it reads, "Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword." Okay? So plain and simple, okay? The Lord is coming what? At the same time, he's coming to bring a sword, but he's also coming to bring salvation for the righteous. Okay? But the rest of these people that don't repent, okay, hey, that's here in America, they're going to get destroyed. All right? So that's why the title, that's why I was asked, the question of the lesson is, do you want to take part in this sword, okay, that the Lord is bringing, or do you want to take part, okay, in the sword, which is the word, right? Because let's prove that, Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 12, and it reads, "For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart." Okay? So it said, what is sharper than the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword. Okay? So this is what the word of the Lord is, and this is what the elect, the righteous, okay, have taken heed unto. All right? Because what does it say? So like, you bear with me, Baba Kusha. I'm gonna pause real quick. Let's get a Jeremiah 2 and 4. I wanted to find a precept, that was pretty much went straight to the point, dealing with, hearing the word of the Lord. But this is Jeremiah chapter 2. So like you. Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 4, and it reads, "Hear ye the word of the Lord, O house of Jacob, and all the families of the house of Israel." All right. So plain and simple, this is what the elect have done. Okay. Because the Lord said what? Let's get this too. In the book of John chapter 10, and jumping down to verse 27, and it reads, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." Okay, so the sheep, okay, it's another name for the elect, all right, are the ones who are going to follow the Lord. Okay, and this is what the elect have done. Okay, and this is what the men of the Lord have done in the times that we're in. All right, so this is what the word, okay, this truth, all right, this word is likened unto a sword. Okay, and this is what the righteous are taking part in. Okay, we're using this sword, okay, to what? To hew down this devil's wickedness and all his lies. All right, but these 2/3 and these people out here, hey, they're going to take part of the judgment to come, okay, which is the other sword that the Lord has prepared for the wicked. Okay, that's why for the ones listening to this message, hey, take it serious and continue to pray to the Lord and seek the Lord more and more. All right. You know, matter of fact, let's also get that Micah 2. All right, since it said they hear my voice. This is Micah chapter 6 and verse 9, and it reads, the Lord's voice crieth unto the city, and the man of wisdom shall see thy name. Hear ye the rod, and who hath appointed it? Okay, so the Lord's voice, okay, also the rod, all right, is this word that's being spoken, okay, through the mouth of the prophets. And what? Once again, this is what the elect have taken part in, you know. Now, on the other hand, all right, let's get Isaiah chapter 34 and jumping down to verse 6, and it reads, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood, it is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams, for the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Okay, and what's that sword? Okay, Salakia Khan, we should have jumped up. Jumping up to Isaiah 34 and verse 5, and it reads, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven, behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Okay, and that sword is dealing with what? The nuclear missiles that the Lord is going to rain down upon this place, okay? You know, the Lord's going to put the spirit upon these other nations to shoot nukes upon this place, like it says in Jeremiah. All right, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, okay? Because it said, what? My sword shall be bathed in heaven, and that's what? These nuclear missiles, these warheads, all right, being shot up into the, into outer space, all right? Or should I say into the atmosphere, you know? And what? It has that arching fashion, and it's going to come down, okay? And its target is going to be America, all right? Verse 6, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams, for the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Okay? Hey, so this whole place is going to be a burnt sacrifice real soon. Okay? And that's the sword that these 2/3, okay, and these heathen are going to take part in, that continue to take part in this wickedness that's going on here in Babylon. You know? And we don't want to take part of that. Okay? Let's also get Isaiah chapter 66 and verse, jumping down to verse 16. It reads, for by fire and by his sword, right? By fire and by his sword, okay, dealing with the nuclear missiles, right? And the fire that's going to be shot down by the laser beams of the chariots, right? For by Isaiah 66 and 16, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. Okay, so the Lord is coming to slay a lot of people for the wickedness that's going on. Okay, but the elect are going to be covered and delivered from it. All right. You know, so, like it's a lesson a brother posted, done by the elder down in Dallas, the elder Ariella, and pretty much the lesson was entitled, everyone will receive a reward. Okay, so it's two things that's gonna happen for individuals here upon the soils of America. The elect are gonna get delivered, okay, and the rest are gonna get destroyed. Okay, now concerning the nation of Israel, there's, you either get a righteous reward for repenting, or you get a wicked, evil reward, okay, for doing wickedness. From there, let's go to let's get 1 Corinthians 11. Actually, let's get Ephesians 4, another precept showing you, that this is what the elect are doing. All right, and just proving what the sword is again, right? This is Ephesians chapter 6, jumping down to verse 17. We'll start at 13 and then jump down, and it reads, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, right? That's the whole truth, okay, applying everything, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. All right, we'll just go ahead and read down. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness. Okay, and that's this truth. All right, and our righteousness. Okay, which is our faith in Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, right? Verse 15, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, above all taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye may be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, right? Because faith is our shield. Okay, if you don't have faith, a lot of these things will break you, right? Verse 17, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. Okay, so the sword once again is the word of the Most High, and that's what the elect, okay, are using once again, you know, to fight against Esau Edom's lies, all right, and his wicked, you know, philosophies, you know, you know. So this is the righteous sword that you want to take part in, okay, or take part of, all right. From here, let's also go to 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 32. And it reads, But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world. Okay? So it's better to what? Be a part of this truth and be chastened of the Lord, all right? Instead of what? Be condemned with the world, because the judgment of the world is going to be a bad punishment. Okay? So, but that's the point, you know, just dealing with that. Hey, we want to take part of this this truth, all right? You know, this righteous sword, all right? So, with that, I'm going to say, call hello, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles, the great millstone, who rule well and teach well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you walking throughout the four corners of the earth, continuing to push into the works in truth and in sincerity. And real quick, you know, I said we want to, but we are, okay? We are taking part, you know, in this righteous sword. You know, Lord's will we endure unto the end. But shalom.